last few weeks, and then we'll open it up to questions after that.
Yeah, we've been really busy the last couple of weeks, and a lot of that has to do with roster management and building a roster, working out with our current players, building our staff, working through job responsibilities up in the office. I think we've had a lot of positive momentum. We've been really excited about recruiting, and just really look forward to getting our entire team here this summer and really start moving forward with what we're going to do offensively, defensively, and really building a strong team.
All right, we'll open up to questions for either Grace or Coach.
Grace, we haven't gotten to obviously speak to you yet. Kind of take me through, the last few, months for you, getting to meet Coach Harper, and what were your kind of first impressions, and obviously deciding to stay here in Missouri.
Yeah, for sure. With season ending, I just kind of wanted to see where Mizzou was going to go, and when I heard that Coach Harper was announced, I was super excited, and kind of from there, I just wanted to get to know her, get to know the staff, and after having those meetings with her early on, I just really saw her vision and resonated with it for Mizzou women's basketball, and I can just say that I'm super excited to be here and super excited to get to work with her.
Coach, as you were getting started, have to fill out a staff and build a roster and everything else that was going on for you. Was there an order for the priorities for you, or was it just trying to get everything done all at the same time?
Really trying to get everything, multitasking at its finest there. The three priorities are current players, staff, and recruiting. They're 100%. It was not, what my office looked like or any of those things. It was definitely the personnel. It was the people, and to be quite honest, still are the priorities for this team and for this program right now. But each day there early on, each day you're balancing all three of those things. We wanted to meet with our players as quickly as possible, meet with them individually as quickly as possible. Making a lot of phone calls with trying to bring in the right staff. And then you jump right into recruiting, and you're doing high school recruiting, but you're also doing obviously portal recruiting. So it was a lot of multitasking.
Kellie, what do you like about the additions that you were able to make so far in the portal, and what you've been able to do there?
Yeah, I think we've been able to get in and get really high quality people who fit what we're looking for on the court, that will be great additions to our established players here. And I think they all bring something I really believe unique. Sanaya Tyler brings SEC experience playing at Kentucky, and she's super excited to be back in the state of Missouri. Shannon Dow also brings collegiate experience and had a terrific freshman year. So I think we're just scratching the surface with her. We're really excited about who she can become. Jordana Reesma is going to give us size and athleticism in the interior. I think that's going to open up a lot of things for players like Grace. And then Sydney Maines is a super intelligent shooter with good size. So that's a good start. Those are the ones I can talk about. So we're continuing to build, and we're excited about it.
Kellie, what was kind of your, general pitch to transfers about changes or the program under different management, I guess, that could accomplish here?
Yeah, I think we have to explain our vision, where we see them individually. I'll be honest with you, one of the big sales was, playing with players like Grace and, players that are hungry. They want to win, and they want to embrace teammates that are going to come in here and help get that done. I think our staff has a lot of energy and a lot of positive energy, and I think it's infectious. So I think anybody that meets our staff and comes on a visit really likes it. I think Missouri has a lot of positive things to sell as well. So we made sure that each player that stepped on this campus knew exactly where we saw them, and they knew exactly why we were recruiting them.
Coach.
Kellie, how big was it to keep a player like Grace around and be able to keep her on this team? And what did you like that she brought to this team last season?
Well, to be honest with you, I've kind of been a fan from afar. I've followed her career. I've enjoyed watching her play. You know, just especially this past year when I didn't have a dog in the fight and I could just watch and enjoy good basketball. I think she means a lot to this program, to this community, to this university, and obviously to our team and to our team moving forward. That's a big deal. She's super talented. We talk about her all the time. She has pro habits. This kid is in the gym every day, and our staff loves that. So, you know, as we continue to move forward, I'm excited about the growth that even Grace can have. You know, we want to celebrate who she is, but also continue to push her to be the best she can possibly be.
Grace, you could have left. What kept you here?
I mean, there were so many things, you know. I just wanted to first, you know, see who Mizzou was going to bring in, and when I saw it was Coach Harper and got to know her and her staff, I felt like that was a really, you know, big positive. And you know, she comes with a, you know, rich history of women's basketball, and not only, you know, coaching but playing as well. And so to get the opportunity to see Mizzou, you know, put, you know, that type of effort towards women's basketball, I was really excited about that. And I mean, on top of that, you know, Coach Harper kind of talked about it a little bit, just the community that Columbia has, and, you know, the relationships you build over time. You know, Mizzou is so much more than just a place I get to play basketball at. It's a home state, and it's an opportunity to play in the SEC as well.
Grace, what's it kind of like to be kind of seen as the face of the team and of the community while still only a sophomore?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I would say it's you know, it's something that you gotta embrace, and I was super thankful just for my teammates. You know, the past couple years I got to be a freshman with Haley Frank and really just look up to her as a freshman, and see how she kind of handled that role. And you know, I still talk with her, so being able just to have, you know, good upperclassmen to look up to. And then I think there's still room to grow in that role, to be more vocal, but at the same time it's a team sport, and there's so many other individuals that help make it happen. But yeah.
Coach, you talked about high school recruiting as well. Are you envisioning bringing anybody in for next year's roster, or are we just looking down the road?
Recruiting is fluid, so things are constantly changing. So I'm not going to say there's a definite right now, but we're definitely focused heavily right now in the transfer portal, and you know, we definitely want to move that way where we are bringing in high school players. I think that's going to be important for our culture, and for me, I think just the stability and the consistency of high school players coming in and doing what Grace is doing. You know, I think that's going to be really important moving forward.
Kellie, you talked about the transfer portal and focusing on that and meeting with current players. What was it like when a lot of the players from last year decided to enter the portal?
Yeah, we had some really good conversations with all of our players. We met with all of them, and you know, I think the most important thing that we do right now is have very honest and transparent conversations both ways. And you know, I think the good thing about the transfer portal is it allows players to get the right fit at the right time. And so I think, you know, we were very honest in our conversations, and I hope our players were honest back, and I think the decisions that were made were probably right for everyone.
Grace, when some of those conversations are happening, I mean, were you telling Kellie and the coaching staff, hey, this is kind of what we need when you hit the transfer portal, and what was kind of your take on the direction the team should go in getting new talent?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Coach Harper said, the transfer portal provides a lot of positives, allows people to go where they need to. So for my teammates, you know, that have been in the locker room with us the past couple years, I'm just happy for them to be able to find a home. But then also there's just that balance of trusting in the coaching staff and understanding. I mean, you know, Coach Harper's been watching this whole year, so she's kind of been able to see what we need. And but yeah, I mean, it's a two-way street, just being letting the coaches do their job, and also understanding that there's a positive for everyone in it.
And Grace, you mentioned that Coach brings a lot of experience playing and coaching. Specifically, just knowing that she's had players go to the next level from here, you know, is that something that you kind of think about or you kind of hope for, for as a player?
For sure. We actually just had that conversation pretty recently. So yeah, I mean, I would love to get to play afterwards, and just understanding that Coach Harper's had that experience with other, really talented players getting to go to the next level. Understanding that that's a type of development I would get to have here was also something super special.
Grace, you talked about upperclassmen and Ashton Judd hit the portal. What was your relationship like with her?
Yeah, I mean, her and the other teammates, just being close with them, I think, it's hard to see your friends and close people go, but at the same time, kind of mentioned it, just being happy for them and understanding that the transfer portal is a place that you can go somewhere if you think somewhere else will be a better fit for you and your development and just the goals that you have.
Kellie, obviously speaking of players who are in the WNBA, getting to announce to Sophie that she's getting Mizzou Athletics Hall of Fame, how cool was that moment for you? Obviously, as the new head coach, you're going to help with that announcement, and what does she kind of mean to this program?
I was very honored to be a part of that announcement and to be there. I've also been a fan of Sophie's for a long time. Hated coaching against her. Oh my goodness. Because she's a winner, but she's the person you want on your side. And so I'm so proud of her. I'm happy for her. Can't wait to continue to be a fan of her as she plays and continues her career. But it's such a well-deserving honor for her to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I'm very humbled to be a part of it.
Coach, when you have a string of seasons like you did at Tennessee, where you guys are continuously making the tournament and finding that success, what kind of things does that teach you from a coaching perspective, and what are you kind of hoping to implement here?
Yeah, I think every experience that I've had throughout my career has been one that I can always reflect on and learn something from. You always take little bits of. There are no two seasons identical in coaching at all. Even if the team is similarly made up, it's just different every year. And so, I may draw from experiences 20 years ago. I started really young, y'all. Or 3 years ago. I think you find similarities on how the season is progressing, maybe how the players are handling adversity, just different things. And, I always feel like I'm a lifetime learner. Like I love learning, and so I'm always trying to figure out what works best. That's one of my favorite parts of coaching, is figuring out how to put ourselves in the right position to be the absolute best we can be. And so I think, just the experience that I've had throughout the years, whether that's on the court, off the court, how we do things with our leadership training, development. There's just so many pieces that I feel like I've learned throughout the years that I'm going to be pulling from a lot this year.
Grace, obviously it's a lot of change from last year. Now that it's been a couple weeks under Coach Kellie, what's kind of been different about what Kellie's brought to the program, whether it's on the courts, in the film room, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, the past couple weeks have been spring training, so it's been really focused on kind of individually getting better, but also getting to come together as a team and play. So while it's, everything's felt super beneficial, I feel like it's been super easy to just go up to the offices and talk to them and have conversations, which I really enjoy. But yeah, I think I kind of speak for the team. I think we're all really looking forward to the summer and getting everyone here and seeing how we can develop in that way.
Grace, as you kind of enter the summer, you're a rising leader on this team. How do you go about kind of building that chemistry? It's so important when you get to the season when you have so many pieces coming in.
For sure. Some of us returners were kind of talking just about how we really, think that we can bring this team together this year, whether that's just talking about expectations, timing, the little things, just how early you get to the locker room before practice make a difference on a team. But then also the fun things outside. I mean, summer's the time to build those relationships, whether it's hanging out by the pool or whatever it is. So yeah, I think as a leader, I'll definitely focus on trying to be more vocal this season and making sure my teammates can hear me in different ways. But yeah, once again, I think we're all just super excited to get everyone in here and get to work.
Coach, when you look at that dynamic of bringing in roster building now, what do you need to see this offseason that'll let you know, hey, this group's on the path to gelling together?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with our current players. And I'm so proud of them. I tell them this daily. Like, I'm so proud of the people that they are. They have been working so hard, getting in the gym. They're so welcoming to our staff, and they're hungry. They have to maintain that. They have to keep that. They have to that hunger has to drive them, and we are bringing in really good people that are going to match that. And I think she's right. We're going to really work hard on building that cohesiveness. You do that a lot in the summer. A lot of your on the court chemistry comes from your off court relationships with your teammates. I think we have some ideas on how we can do some things that are going to help foster that tough relationship, but we have to be on the same page. We have to be one. What we're going to try to do is extremely challenging in our league. They're up for it, and the players that are coming in, that's why they're coming here, for this great challenge. So I'm just super excited about it. I'm excited to get started. It's not going to be easy. We're going to have a lot of adversity, and when you have that adversity, you're going to rely on each other. And so that bond has to be great. There is no reason that the bond on this team can't be as good as any bond you've ever had on a team. When you start with great people and you have a common vision, and man, you can achieve so much.
We'll take one or two more, guys.
Coach, do you have a number in mind for where you want the roster to be at?
No, recruiting is fluid. Roster management apparently these days, y'all, is fluid. So we feel good about where we're at now, and I don't know how many you guys think I have. I can't remember what number that is.
I think after yesterday's bat signal would make 10.
Sounds good. We're still looking. We're still trying to bring in a few more pieces that make sense for us. Listen, we're not gonna do it just for numbers. Okay, it's got to make sense. Our practice guys are going to get a lot of reps. Okay, we're going to use our practice guys. They're going to get a lot of reps, and our players are going to be playing a lot of minutes. That's what they want. They don't want to sit on the bench. They want to play. So it should be a lot of fun.
We'll take one more, guys.
Grace, you mentioned that you and Coach had the conversation of kind of the long-term goal of maybe reaching that next level. Have you guys talked about what the short-term steps may look in terms of next year?
Yeah, no, we've talked about that as well, and I was able to talk to one of our other assistants as well, and he kind of made the comment, anything you're working towards for a long-term goal would definitely help the team in the short-term goals. So whether those are just the small habits that lead to the end goal, but yeah, I mean, there's so many different things you can work on in an off season, and I think the big ones are just bringing the team together and working on leadership to try to make sure that we do move as one this upcoming season.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank y'all for coming.